Hi everyone. So today we're going to work on factoring. This is the fourth type, but now we're going to have it where x squared has a coefficient that you can't divide out. So we've done ones where you have like x squared, like 2x squared plus 6x plus 4, and you can divide out the 2. We're going to go over today ones where you can't divide out. So it'd be like this plus, I don't know, 3. So how would you factor this one? And that's what we're going to focus on today. All right, so just for some review, pause the video and do these. They're ones that we've already done. This was on your quiz. All right, so this one, let's see, 80 and 11. I can't think of that one off the top of my head. Let's see, 40, 2 times 40, 4 times 20, 5 times, it's 5 and 16. All right, so x plus, x minus, the 16 has to be plus to make it a positive 11. All right, next one, that's an easy one. 30 is 3 and 10. So x minus 10 times x plus 3. This one we have a GCF, so I'm going to divide by -3. Leaves me with x squared minus 21x plus 90. So we're going to have -3x, x, let's see, 90 and 21. What is that? Let's see, 9 times 10. That gives you 19, so a little less. Does 8, 6, and 15. That's it, 6 and 15. So -6 minus 15. And then this last one is a pretty easy one. Just remember it has x's and y's. So you're going to have x, y, x, y. And then this one we're multiplying to -72, combining to -1. So it's 8y minus 9y. Okay? All right, so to kind of prep this one, I want you to multiply these out so we can kind of get used to what it looks like when there's a number in front of x squared. All right, so when I distribute, I get 6x squared plus 8x plus 15x plus 20. So if you notice, 6x squared plus 23x plus 20. So the key for these when we're going backwards is we have the 2x times 4 and the 5 and 3, and those add up to 23. So we get 7x squared plus 56x minus x minus 8. So 7x squared plus 55x minus 8. And then remember with this one, be careful. A lot of kids do crazy stuff here. It's still double distributing. It's still FOIL. 9x squared minus 15x minus 15x plus 25. So we get 9x squared minus 30x plus 25. So the key for this one, because remember the whole point of this is we're going to be going backwards. If I give you this, how do we figure out what the numbers are on the inside, right? We have 1 and 8 and 7 and x. Like it's not as obvious with these. All right, so I want to start us off by trying these using guess and check. There is a method, but since this is our first lesson, I really want us to kind of work through how can I do these logically to figure out the answer. All right, so you might want to use an eraser. So I have 3x and x, right? Because 3x times x gives me my x squared. So now here's the thing. We need to put the 12. We have a lot of options for those other two spots. We have things that need to multiply to 12. So it could be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, or 3 and 4. And now here's what makes it difficult. Let's say I did 4 and 3. That if I do the outsides, that's 9. The insides, that's 4. That gives me 13 instead of 37. But then I could go through and I can switch them. Erase that. And I could put my 3 here and my 4 here. That would give me a 12 and a 3, so 15. So we want to figure out what needs to get multiplied. Okay. So I want you to take a minute and see if you can figure out what it is, because we want that middle term to be 37. So I need to get close to 37. So here, what I said was, oh, well, I know 3 times 12 is 36. If that's a 12 and that's a 1, that gives me 36x plus 1x. So that's your answer. So we're just using kind of guess and check and checking out the two, the out and the in. What will they need to add up to? All right, one more together, and then I want you to try one on your own. All right, so 5x and x to start. So now this one, right, -8 and 1, that wouldn't make sense because that would give me -40 and 1, which gives me -39. So that's definitely not right. So again, I need to get close. 18 is the number that we need to reach, right? So what can I multiply 5 by that will get me close to 18? So I could do, so it's 8. 1 and 8 is not going to work. So 2 and 4. So now do I need to multiply the 5 times the 2? Like this. That gives me 10 and 4. That's 14 if you add them, but since we're multiplying to a negative, we're going to subtract. So that's 10 minus 4 is 6, so that's not going to work. So then I'm going to reverse it. And I'm going to put, if I put a 4 here, that gives me 20 and 2. Well, 20 minus 2, right? 5 times 4 is 20. And 2, that gives me 18. Now, who has to be positive and who has to be negative? I need to have a positive 20 minus 2 equals a positive 18. So the 4 is positive to make it positive 20 minus 2, and that's my answer. All right, pause your video, see if you can figure out the next one on your own. Now, this one's actually even more tricky. I haven't done this in a while, so I don't actually know the answer off the top of my head. Because for this one, it could be 8x and x. It also could be 2x and 4x. So we're really not sure what's happening here. So let's see, 15 is 3 and 5. So my guess is it's going to be 3 and 5. I don't want to get too big, so I don't want to multiply by 5. Let's see, if I multiply by 3, if I do this, that's 24 and 5. That's 19, so that's not going to work. And then 15 and 8, that's not going to work. Okay, so my guess is it's going to be 2 and 4. So I'm going to make this 2x and 4x. So let's see, it's 15. So if I did 5 here and 3 here, that's 10 and 12. That doesn't work. So we need a 3 here and a 5 here. That gives me 6 and 20, and that's it. Okay, so I want it to be positive 20 minus 6. So 2x plus 5, 4x minus 3. Done. All right, pause the video, and I want you to try these on your own. Again, if you're having a lot of trouble, this is hard. Like, I'm making you just do guess and check. The next lesson, I promise, I'm going to teach you an actual method that is foolproof for this. But I think it's really good for your number sense to try to do these without without using any kind of method. Just, can I use guess and check to figure these out? All right, 7x. X. So this one's pretty, this is an easy one because I know in my head 7 minus 4 is 3. So I need this to be 7 times 1 and 4, and I want it to be a positive 7. So the plus goes here with 7 times 1 is 7 minus 4 equals 3. Next one, see 5x and x. See 16. Got a lot of options here. We got 4 and 4, 8 and 2, and 16. It's definitely not 16 and 1 because 16 minus 5 is 11. Let's see. I need 2 is not a big number. So in my head, I'm like, okay, the two things that multiply need to be close to each other. So I think it's going to be, if I put a 2 here, that gives me 10. Yep, and that's it. So 10x and 8x. So I want a positive 2, so the 10 has to be positive, the 8 has to be negative. All right, and then this last one, I need to divide out a GCF. Let's see, 2x squared. I'm going to make it negative 2x squared. That leaves me with 12x squared minus 17x plus 5. Ooh, this one looks tricky. All right, so I have my negative 2x squared out front. So at least with this one, the 5, we know it's going to be like 1 and 5, right? And they're both going to be negative. Now the question is, the number in the front is a 12, right? So now what has to go in the front? Is it 1 and 12? Is it 2 and 6? Is it 3 and 4? 12. Oh, is it going to be 12? No, I don't think. Does that work? Let's see. I think it is 12. 12 and 1, because that gives me negative 12 and negative 5. Yep, so that's it. Looks a little funny with the 1 in front, but. All right, so now I just wanted to do a quick review of the difference of two perfect squares because this one tends to throw kids off a lot. So we've done number 10 a bunch of times, so pause the video and do these. So remember, when it's to the 4th, x squared plus 9 minus 9. Now the issue I find is that students just forget to keep going. X squared plus 9 you cannot factor again because it's a plus. It's impossible with real numbers. But x squared minus 9 does factor. All right, next one. This is an easy one. 4x. Whoopsies. 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. Oh no, this one I'm doing it wrong. There's a GCF. See, I was about to do it wrong. Gotta pay attention. There is a GCF here of 9. If you divide, you get this. So then we do the GCF of the inside, x and x, plus 2y minus 2y. Number 12 is prime. Because of the plus, you cannot factor it. Ooh, this one looks fun. I think we did one of these, a similar one in class. All right, 625. 625 is 25 squared, so it's 25, 25. Half of 8 is 4. So y to the 4th, plus or minus. The square root of 256 is 16. And then this time it's x to the 4th, so that's going to be an x squared. 16x squared. Just like in the other ones, the first one with the plus can't do anything, so I'm going to rewrite it. And then the next one, those are perfect squares with subtraction again. So for 25 is 5y squared, 5y squared, plus 4x minus 4x. Now technically you can actually No, you can't. Never mind. There's a Plain X there. Sometimes what you could do perfect squares, but it's weird looking with like gross numbers. I guess you could do it. It would be weird though. That's your answer. Okay, so this homework assignment is in the book. I did take a picture of the problems. If in case you don't have your book with you, you put it in your locker, even though I told you to bring it home. So it's 4 through 30 even. Again, please practice this in your head. I promise the next lesson I will go over a method that will help you get the answer, but I want you to practice your number sense. All right, that is it. Have a fabulous day, guys.